A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we all be like that wise old bird? This little poem holds so much truth, and it shows how much owls have inspired us. So I will feature them in this September theme that welcomes the fall. I'll be using this ink from Lamy. The name is Topaz, and it is a beautiful shade of dust pink brown. I fell in love with it, and you will see why now it's one of my favorites. I have always loved owls. My favorite one growing up was Archimedes from the Sword in the Stone movie. A grumpy but kind chubby owl that was always saving his friends. From that first encounter, I thought of owls as knowledgeable and deeply wise. And though it was just a kid's movie, it was based off the overall idea of owls being associated with wisdom, vigilance, wealth, prosperity, and fortune. The symbol of the Faculty of Chemistry in Mexico's university is an owl, and I knew because both my parents studied and met there, and so growing up, I saw it everywhere. And that added to my admiration and love for those creatures. So for the cover, I knew I wanted to paint a big owl that could encompass this bird's majestic qualities. And as you can see, diluting the ink made me obtain different shades that blended together beautifully. Then, as usual, I just added the month with a beautiful metallic watercolor from Coliro, and the name is Cotton Candy. Some technical details on owls. They are from the order Strigiformes, and there are over 200 species of mostly solitary and nocturnal birds of prey. They are typified by an upright stance and a large, broad head. They have binocular vision, and their hearing, which is 10 times more acute than that of man, is actually binaural, giving them the ability to identify the location or origin of a detected sound in direction and distance. They have sharp talons and feathers adapted for silent flight. I was amazed when I watched an experiment by the BBC showing the noise that the wings of different birds make when flying, and the owl didn't even make the microphones flinch. It's really worth watching, so I'm going to link it below because they are definitely masterpieces of creation. Here's my word of the month. This time I got balance. It was so fitting because owls are definitely masters of balance, especially in the way they move their head, which has always fascinated me. But I was also thinking of how fitting it is to link the quality that I know the all for, which is wisdom, with balance. Wisdom is the soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. And that is what is needed in order to have balance in life, to keep all aspects in its correct proportions and to avoid falling. I feel that we live in such a time when the virtual world is given so much time and attention that it is all too easy to end up losing balance and ourselves. The wise thing to do is to be conscious of how we spend our time, plan when we need to, and stick to that plan. That definitely brings variety into our daily lives and helps us enjoy not only the little things in life, but the company of those who matter to us. The owl that I'm painting here was inspired by the picture that a friend took. He is a bird watcher, and I will link his Instagram below. Him and my brother-in-law were the sources of most of the images that I used in this theme, and I have to say that I admire their commitment to this hobby. The pictures they take are the result of a lot of time, a lot of endurance, strength, and love for the birds. It's thanks to their hard work that my fascination for birds has grown a lot. So here's a shout out to all the bird watchers out there who continue to show us the winged wonders of creation. Some more interesting facts. Did you know that a group of owls is called a parliament? Or that the pointy feathers on their head communicate their mood? Owls mostly hunt small mammals, insects, and other birds, but a few species specialize in hunting fish. They live in both cold northern woods or scorching hot deserts. They are found in all regions of the earth, except for the polar ice caps and some remote islands. And speaking of the world and cultures, In ancient Greece, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, had the owl as her symbol, and the Hinduism sees them as a symbol of wealth, prosperity, and wisdom. On the other hand, in Africa and some parts of Asia, they are considered as harbingers of death, ill health, evil, or bad luck. But the truth is that owls are simply beautiful, amazing animals, designed to be part of our ecosystem, whereas all other creatures, they play a vital role. They are constantly marveled at by man and fascinating to listen to at night. If you have ever heard one during the night, then you know what I'm talking about. As I set up this health tracker, I was thinking that I needed to change it to better suit my process. Because I am deeply happy to say that my health has improved enormously. And having been implementing so many things, I have found that two things have made a huge difference: daily exercise and oregano oil. One of my natural doctors once told me that what you eat does not make a difference if you don't exercise. And now I can finally see the powerful truth in his words. Not only do I have more energy and better rest at night, my skin has cleared and my allergic reactions have become almost non-existent. For those times when I do feel them creeping in, I take oregano oil. A life changer, so much so that for the first time in my life, I have spent half a year not getting sick. That's whole 6 months. Even when I took long flights and I was in crowded spaces. So that is definitely a high record for someone who used to get sick at least once or even twice a month. And now I can say that I am living my best life, implementing just the workout habit and taking oregano oil when I need to. Now, I am not the type of person that thinks that one thing works for all. For my own and absolutely unique experience, I do believe that the natural resources are the best course when it comes down to my healthcare. But I know that everybody is different. My process of finding what works for me has been a lifelong one, and so I would urge anyone who's battling with health issues to make their own research before trying new things. Knowledge is powerful, and that is actually the key. The one thing that everyone should do, no matter what treatment they choose, and as long as their circumstances allow it, is exercise. So start today if you have not done so, and do it little by little. You don't need a gym or sophisticated equipment, and I have my own story to tell you to prove it. So I used to be fairly active before the pandemic, but then all of that changed. I fell into this rut of no physical activity except for when I went out. I try to work out from time to time, but failed to have a routine, and being busy with just life and a desk job, I didn't even try. But May came and I went to see my sister. We had booked our trip to Ireland, which is mostly an outdoor destination, and I was in no shape to do that trip. So my sister and brother-in-law accepted the challenge to help me get fit. And I must say that, though I felt I was dying on the first days, little by little I made the progress that I needed. I started training on May 16, and by June 10, I walked around 8.5 miles around the cliffs of Moher. And I was feeling so amazing. It was like I was on fire, and even one of my socks broke. But you see, motivation is really important. I had this trip that I really wanted to make, but the added motivation came once I started exercising, because as I made the effort, I realized how great I was feeling. My skin allergies truly started disappearing, I had more strength, I built more muscle, and so seeing the potential that my health had once I summed exercise into the formula made it not only attractive but also essential. Well, now I definitely don't want to go back to not having that habit of exercising, so I'm doing my best to stick to my workout routine. The evident results and benefits are pushing me to change the way that I track my health, and that is the best news ever. So that brings me back to journaling, to how health trackers can do wonders to keep you motivated, and how rewarding it is to look back and see your progress. It might take years, but like the saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. I would love to dedicate a video to all the health trackers that I have tried and how they have led me to being my own health detective and finding out what works for me. So let me know in the comments if that is something that you would be interested in. Now, here is the final flip through of this cozy owl theme. I love how every detail relates to what life is right now for me, and how it motivates me to keep going. I think that's the beauty of journaling themes. They keep you company as you go through your planning process, motivating you to open those pages and add to your projects and goals. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and also if you like owls or what your favorite animal is. Subscribe if you haven't to follow my bullet journal journey, and as usual, thank you so much for watching.